Yesterday and earlier today, Bitcoin was over $11,000 in price again. So Bitcoin has corrected a little bit today. As of right now, on Sunday, June 23rd, 2019, Bitcoin is currently at $10,712.19 when I'm recording this short little video. And I just wanted to talk about Bitcoin and give you guys a little update on it. As you guys can see on the screen here, this is a screenshot of the Bitcoin price since January of 2019. If Bitcoin goes to $12,000, it will have about tripled in a very short amount of time. So props to Dr. Mark Faber of the Gloom, Boom, and Doom report. People criticize him heavily in the mainstream media, but the truth is he is a great contrarian speculator and a great contrarian investor. He was recommending to his clients and subscribers to his newsletter that Bitcoin, when it was in January of 2019, around 4,000 or a little bit below 4,000, that it was bottoming and that it was a good speculation. It turns out he was right. So again, congrats to Dr. Mark Faber. The Google Trends of Bitcoin was a lot higher in the past, and then it started to drop down as Bitcoin price was falling to its lows in November 2018, December 2018, January 2019, and February 2019. And that's why the red circle there, because that's the bottoming process. The searches went down a lot, coinciding with Bitcoin price. And now there's a rally in searches for Bitcoin. And this is normally about retail money. So it appears that retail is starting to get interest again in Bitcoin. It looks like for searches, the chart there is starting to make higher lows. This chart is starting to show a trend up and increase again in searches. It's not consistently higher, but it is starting to go higher. This is a Forbes article from May 14th by Brian Rich. He used to work in the hedge fund community, and he also advises very high net worth individuals in Europe. And he was talking about how he thinks that the Bitcoin's price rise is largely in part due to macro reasons and the trade war, US versus China trade war, and the capital controls in China. And Bitcoin is making it easier to move money out. And Bitcoin is the largest cryptocurrency with the most trading volume. So it is easiest, if you have a large amount of capital, it is easiest to move money out or move money back and forth with Bitcoin compared to other crypto. And I put the dollar to RMB exchange rate earlier today. It's fluctuating a little bit, but about an hour or two ago, it was at 6.8542 RMB to the dollar. So if you want to read this article more in depth, I will attach a link to it if you want to take a look. I meant to also say that he thinks his main thesis is that if the RMB breaks 7 on the exchange rate to the dollar, that then Bitcoin will really go crazy. So he thinks one of the reasons that Bitcoin has moved a lot because of Chinese worrying about the trade war and tariffs, and also of a major RMB devaluation coming in the near future. This slide, I took a screenshot of the dollar to RMB exchange rate. And if you can see here on the chart, the exchange rate moves. It looks like the RMB is starting to price in a devaluation there in the first one when President Trump announced more tariff increases against China. And then on the more recent one, it looks like on June 10th, that the PBOC, People's Bank of China, may have intervened to prevent the RMB from getting past 7 from a massive devaluation. And my sources in China have told me, along with Kyle Bass and others that I've spoken to, people who work for Kyle Bass, people friends with Kyle Bass, that the Chinese are really adamant and worried that they do not want the RMB to get to that 7 level because they think it's psychological. And to add to that argument, remember there was the head of the People's Bank of China, and he actually did a rare interview on Bloomberg Asia in the last 3 or 4 weeks. And he was only on there for a couple minutes, but he said they have complete control of the currency and they won't let it pass 7. So it looks there on the chart recently that the People's Bank of China did intervene and smashed the exchange rate from getting close to 7 because it looked like it was going to. There are a lot of people out there who think that China wants to devalue the RMB, but as you can see by the chart, it looks like China and the People's Bank of China, the Chinese government, is not ready to do that. Another listener brought up, who's more attuned to the Bitcoin community, that one of the reasons Bitcoin and also Litecoin could be rising lately is because of the Bitcoin halving coming up. So I started doing some research on this. So first off, what is Bitcoin halving? New Bitcoins are issued by the Bitcoin network every 10 minutes. For the first 4 years of Bitcoin's existence, the amount of new Bitcoins issued every 10 minutes was 50. Every 4 years, this number is cut in half. The day the amount halves is called a halving. In 2012, the amount of new Bitcoins issued every 10 minutes dropped from 50 Bitcoins to 25. In 2016, it dropped from 25 to 12.5. Now in 2020, for that halving, it's projected to be, I believe, in May of 2020. It could be a little bit different than that time, but that's the estimate for right now. It's about every 4 years. It will drop from 12.5 to 6.5. And that's my source that I looked it up. But there's a number of other websites that also track this. So what is the significance of Bitcoin halving? The halving decreases the amount of new Bitcoins generated per block. This means the supply of new Bitcoins is lower. In normal markets, lower supply with steady demand usually leads to higher prices. Since the halving reduces the supply of new Bitcoins and demand usually remains steady, the halving has usually preceded some of Bitcoin's largest runs. So this is a chart from showing with the large lines through it of 2012 and 2016. So the vertical green lines indicate the previous two halvings. Note how the prices jump significantly higher after each halving. And this source is 99 Bitcoins. So the next Bitcoin halving, as far as I can tell, just doing some research on this for about 30 minutes, looks like to be in around May of 2020. So we're nowhere near that. We're about a year away, give or take. So I think it's too early to be pricing in the 2020 halving for Bitcoin. So what's your opinions on this? I personally think it's too early. Probably maybe about 3 or 4 months prior, maybe. But I think a year or more, depending upon what time frame it actually happens, is probably too early. So in wrapping this up, the Bitcoin price chart is going parabolic. It has had a little correction later today, but it is going parabolic. Why do you think it's going parabolic? Do you think that the retail money is jumping in? Do you think it's institutional money? Do you think that a lot of people are piggybacking the China trade of people worried getting their money out of RMB into Bitcoin, using it to circumvent the capital controls? Because the Bitcoin chart, as you guys saw earlier in this video, looks like it is going parabolic now. That it could easily, if this keeps up, it could easily be at 12,000, 13,000 over the next couple weeks, maybe in the next couple days if this keeps this up. I just wanted to cover this really quick and give you guys an update on what I think is going on with the Bitcoin price. Okay, bye for now. Please like this video, share it with friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to the Wall Street for Main Street YouTube channel if you have not already done so. Thanks for helping Wall Street for Main Street pass the 20,000 YouTube channel subscriber milestone despite YouTube censorship. Hopefully, we'll be able to get to 30,000 or even 40,000 YouTube channel subscribers quickly if YouTube doesn't shut down this channel. If YouTube does shut down this channel, remember to also sign up for the Wall Street for Main Street email list that's on the wallstreetformainstreet.com website and will tell you where the videos are going to be uploaded instead of YouTube. Also, if you really like the content and you decide that you want to give a one-time donation, you can go to wallstreetformainstreet.com. That's wallstreetformainst.com website, where there's different options for you to do so. Or you can become a Patreon contributor. Thanks for listening, and I look forward to providing my loyal listeners with some of the best information, analysis, and financial education available out there, free or paid, as I work to grow the podcast and also get my educational technology company funded.